Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next installment of Foundation Explored, Tools to Thrive in Your Life. Today, our guest is Certified Facilitator Rachel Silber, and we're going to have a little chat about relaxation and relaxing into being. And Rachel actually has a funny story. This topic is very appropriate because today she's getting ready for, we have this scheduled, right? And she's like, I don't have any power right now, so I'm going to make something else happen. So do you want to start like talking about how do you like relax, like going with the flow, relaxing no matter what shows up?
Yeah, there's first of all, the universe has a really phenomenal sense of humor. You know that you ask for one thing and then the universe kind of makes it show up in an entirely different way. And we had a planned power outage by the electric company where I live in the apartment building where we live, but it was only supposed to go on until 6 a.m. Having to negotiate 5 flights of stairs in the pitch black and trying to find the car in the morning with just, a flashlight and the cell phone lights, trying to make our way through. It was really funny. But
Oh my
there's
God.
always a possibility in everything. And I was here in Ocean Beach. This is called Ocean Beach for one of the kids' concerts. This past weekend, one of the high school kids that goes to school with my daughter. And so I was like, okay, well, there was good cell signal there. What if I go to the beach? And as I was driving, it started to rain. I'm like, okay, well, what if I go to the beach and I find a little nook where I can, get something warm to drink? I got stupid Cupid.
It looks so
That's when
awesome.
it's so good. It is so good. There's like some delightful mix in there and then the strawberry on top. And I was like, I'm just going to roll with whatever comes. And it isn't about being swept away. It's about actually having fun. There's no, oh my God, it has to look a particular way. No. And you have a lot more fun with the universe when you don't have to struggle to make it be any one particular way. And yeah, there's noise. And I could either get mad or I could relax and allow it to be a contribution. And who knows, maybe this conversation contributes to some of the
Totally.
passerbys too. So
And
how does
like
it
the
get any
background
better?
noise, it's kind of like having coffee talk with your friends. So just enjoy the noise. It's like we're being at a coffee shop having a conversation.
Except the furniture dragging right there. But
you know, hey.
the store across from me is celebrating their 1 year anniversary today. And actually what's really funny is I just looked for a coffee shop. Turns out this entire little place is like a healing place, like a healing center. So I was kind of when I went in, I was like, wow, there's all of these healing modalities. So who knows?
Huh,
Maybe I
who
came
knows?
here for a reason to walk around and
Exactly.
introduce the bars.
I wonder who you're going to meet today.
I wonder, how does it get even better than this?
Well, what I like about, these lives we've been doing is it really is to have a pretty casual, easy conversation where we talk about, some of the tools. You're a certified facilitator with access. And so one of the classes you facilitate is foundation, which is full of all these, we talk about them as tools, right? And you want to explore more kind of this. I mean, our opening story is a great example of how do you actually choose you and relaxation in the moment, even when things don't, go as planned. But like, would you elaborate more on what has that exploration been like for you? Like, has it always been easy to choose that? Is it some like, are there certain tools that, yeah, that you've added in that has illuminated that area for you?
Well, for me, actually, what I got first, when I first took the foundation class, I carried the manual with me and I would look through and use the specific tools to get me out of my head. And then eventually, and it took a few times of repeating the class because, I'm cute, but not always so bright, where I was more willing to
Me too.
step into the tools and to be the tools. And I got that every single one of those tools and every single one of the books in Access, especially the Being You book, but all of them were bringing us back to being us. And so as long as I recognize, as I remember that everything that I reach for, the main target isn't just to use the tool correctly, it's to come back to being the space and the ease and the curiosity of me, just flowing with things. Then the tools come out very different. It isn't about, oh my God, I must have the right clearing to do such and such. No, it's recognizing that choice creates whatever you choose. And when you're choosing to actually include you in your life, to actually be willing to have, we have the elements of intimacy, for example, in the manual. It brings you back to you. When you have that intimacy with yourself, you ease into this space of pleasure and joy and possibilities that isn't about trying to get anything right. It is about just being, just melting, just not giving a hoot about how this reality does things, but actually being willing to be yourself.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful invitation. The Being You classes, the foundation class, they're phenomenal. They just light the path back to you if you've
Yeah.
forgotten about being you
Yeah.
before.
I love how you put that because it really is like it's so many people are like, well, how do I create this or how do I change this in my life? And like you said, it all comes back to if there's not a how, the how is really being you and having more of that and more of that and more of it. That is the how, like you are.
Well,
Yeah.
it's that ask. And I remember years ago when I would ask Gary Douglas, like, when am I going to get this? He said, "Oh, don't worry, dear one. You just keep going and you just keep showing up and you just keep choosing and you'll be there."
Yeah.
And the thing is that it isn't like a be there, a destination. What I've come to recognize, it's that being there along the path. It's
Yeah.
enjoying every moment, every flow, turning everything into this willingness to enjoy the moment. It's really living life as a celebration.
Yeah.
And like today's Valentine's Day, and some of the teenagers at school were all freaked out and getting the roses and getting the Valentines and getting the and for us, it's been a little different. My husband's birthday is today, and
Oh,
one of my best friends is today as well, and my sister-in-law, who's
oh
my
my
husband's
gosh, you have
twin.
a Valentine's
is-
Day.
yeah, so we're like Valentine's Day. It's just like all this significance just kind of falls away. And what if we would do that in most situations? Just let go of the significance and actually relax truly into celebrating every moment and having every day and every choice. And like this, I didn't have to get a coffee. I didn't have to get this kind of coffee, but it was this something that just was so nurturing and so delightful for all of my senses. It just lit me up. And the more we're willing to be lit up, whatever it looks like, the more fun we're willing to have. Just we be more of us, and it isn't the how, it's just the choosing and the choosing and the choosing and the doing it anyway.
Oh,
And
it's
it's fun.
the universe is so funny because I was sending Rachel the link to this and I was like, well, hold on, I have a live just before this. So, I'll send it right before. And it's so funny you're mentioning all these things like pleasure and your senses. And I literally was just doing a live on that, on what is pleasure to you and why does it add to you being more of you and being and
Yeah,
receiving more. And here you are
yeah.
with your beautiful drink and the little strawberry on top. And then like it, and your being you shirt.
Well, and my BU shirt, and not only that, but I always put this, I don't always, but 99% of the time I remember, and I put this on my hand. It's BEJG. And I do that to remember this past couple of years, about a year into all the COVID lockdown stuff, we discovered that my husband has leukemia. And though I wouldn't wish that on anybody, there's been such a gift in um, being so present and willing to choose living and enjoying and gratitude and truly the elements of intimacy, just the wonder and the making one another laugh, and the whole family just kind of came together in a different way. And yes, now we're in two different countries because we take turns being, with our daughter, and she's in California. The rest of the family's in Guatemala, and we're still having fun with all of it. And it's that willingness to see what can we add to our lives, what can we appreciate, what can we enjoy, what can we just truly, how much more pleasure can we add? Because it isn't about pain or pleasure, it's about pleasure and possibilities.
Yeah.
And I used to have a specialty class a long time ago called Joyful Possibilities. It's one of my favorite books, is one that you recently discovered, and I got it right before it was released in
Oh, so good.
2016, and it so changed my life, and it pointed right back into the foundation,
Yep.
into the tools of having intimacy with you. When you've got intimacy with you, when you're including yourself in your life, when you have allowance for, the weird, wacky breaking out into song in the middle of the day or anywhere else, or carpooling with other kids and doing funny accents in the car with them, and they look at you like, you strange parent, what are you doing? But you have fun with that, and they laugh and they tell. I mean, you've no idea. And the high school kids who usually stay away from their parents, etc., these dudes want to come hang out, and
Oh,
they come and have their bars run at lunchtime sometimes, because I carry my bars chair in the car, and they know it. So they're like, Mom, run bars on me today. And it's fun to be a different space
wow.
than most of the people are going to be in.
That is so beautiful,
So
Rachel. Like, and talk about pleasure and possibilities, like possibilities with teenagers. That's not a normal teenage, way of functioning, wanting to hang out with kids. So you're just like, I'm so me and I know I'm weird and enjoy it. It's like having so much fun that
yeah,
you having that, it's like it turns on everybody else in your life to be like, oh my gosh, like you're going through a lot, and you're still able to be living and enjoying it. Okay, like what an invitation is that to like
yeah.
thriving.
Yeah, and like well, now my daughter has a boot on because she fell while ice skating. Well, in ice skating go practice after class, so she's been in a boot for the last couple of weeks, crutches for a while, etc. But usually she's in circus, like 2, 3 hours a day, working out, and I
What
usually
is
sit in
circus? What
circus.
is circus?
Circus training. That's one of the things that we're for here in San Diego. So they have circus training. She does tumbling and trampoline and lyra, like all sorts of acrobatics,
Yeah.
etc., which she can't quite do with a boot. So she's just going for conditioning or whatever stuff she's able to do today. But usually I'm in there waiting 2 to 3 hours a day. I listen to classes. I read my manuals. I have carried the BMU book in there more times than I can count. And, when they have cool music on or whatever, I dance in the stands, and the other kids kind of point, look at what your mother is doing, over there. And it just inspires people to not have to play things by the rules, and they don't have to, do that duck face and always have to be so cool. Like they could just be themselves. And it's such a treat.
Oh my gosh. Talk about you just living, like living the tool, being the tools that we talk about, like in foundation being you classes, like that is so beautiful because so many people are looking around to like be right and be correct and be perfect. And when you have someone just like dancing in the stage, it's like you kind of can't take yourself too seriously. I mean, I know people still probably can, but it's definitely an invitation to something different.
They smile a lot more, like
Yeah.
really a lot more. It's so much fun. Dancing in the supermarket works too. I mean, it's just that willingness to just play with everything. Play, flirt, smile, just live everything up. I mean, we're here. And I'm not saying we lived once because we don't. So it's not one of those YOLO things you see on the streets, in New York. It's you live lots of times. You might as well enjoy every second because you're here. So why not?
Totally. And I love that, we're talking about like relaxation and these examples, like these really tangible examples you're giving of, okay, that's what this looks like. Sometimes we think of relaxation as only like a bubble bath or taking time away, but relaxing into your being, like you are embodying it so much with all these stories because it's like, it's not having to contract and put up an image or be something you're not. It's like when you relax into your being, like all of these things show up that you're talking about, which is such a different way of what I think most people think relaxing is or is confined to. Yeah.
Plus, I was also getting together with a friend, having that lovely chair in the back of my car. I was getting together with a friend once a week, trading bars on the bay. Not good Wi-Fi service, so I had to get away from the bay to be able to get somewhere where we could speak. But we run bars on the bay and all the little groundhogs come up and the pigeons do figure eights over our heads where it's just remarkable. And the herons fly in and they kind of look at us because they perceive a different space. And then the human beings that are kind of being led forward by their dogs, they kind of walk up and go, "What are you doing?" And
Yeah.
so we're willing to be the space that creates curiosity, but not from having to do anything or prove anything. It's just from just having fun.
Yeah.
And what's the value of stopping ourselves from having fun? I mean, truly.
Truly. That's so beautiful. I want to I was looking as you were talking about the manual. I was like, I know there's a section in foundation just literally on relax. And one of the questions that's in here is how can I relax into this? Is the question to ask instead of how can I make this happen faster? Ask, is this frantic I'm doing getting me what I desire? No. And you not having power today, not having your normal space where you do the live from was such a great example of I'm not going to get frantic over this. That's not going to create the possibility. And it says relax, enjoy, create a different possibility. Which I want to thank you for embodying that today and having all these juicy little bits of what that actually looks like, because we can talk about some of the tools. And sometimes it's like having these, like, this is what it can look like in my life. Like, what is that for you? But really giving these examples of it is living these, and it's different for everybody. But you've been like so fun to talk to and such an invitation to that, like really living these and thriving.
Thank you so much. And you too, and the giggles and the just, everything to me, everything is a gift. There's a gift in every situation, there's a gift in every moment. And it's up to us to not have to fight against anything, but that relaxation into. I don't know if you've ever like needed to get somewhere in a hurry and went into that frantic and it seems like everything slows down around you. And it's amazing just how subjective everything is. Thank you for that. Because like Dane in his lives, when he's on live, everything else
Everything comes
turns
out.
on
Yeah.
too. Like, okay, that was funny. But it's that when you're willing to just like, okay, how much can I enjoy whatever the beautiful energy, whatever the gift is beneath this, whatever's going on, how much can I just relax, enjoy, and begin to perceive the magic that's in between the molecules, that's beneath, that's in that fluidity and that spaciousness and that joy that's available in every moment if we're willing to notice it. It's
Hmm.
the amazing gratitude for everything.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
That's
for having me.
wonderful. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching live and those of you that see the replay. And next Tuesday, we'll have another episode. Thank you, Rachel, so much.
Thank you.